Hi, what's up? Ito po, panuuri natin tong bilyonaryo ni Attorney Jimeno. Kasama niya dito si Attorney Bondok and ah, dating Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez sa mga punto de vista. Ito po, ikalat po natin no, yung mga magagandang binabato, binabalita ng mga totoong media. Ito po yung mga totoong nagpapakalat ng katotohanan sa ating bayan. Ito dapat po yung mga pinapanood natin. Kaya wala po tayong sawang pag-share. Share po natin, like po natin, notification bell, hit po natin yan para support po sa mga bagong labas natin. Ito po, simulan na natin, Attorney Jimeno sa Bilyonaryo.
And conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront. Good morning. I am Attorney Karen Jimeno. Allies of former President Rodrigo Duterte, under a group called Citizens Crime Watch, has filed 24 counts of criminal charges with the Ombudsman against House Speaker Martin Romualdez, Ako Bicol Party List Representative Zaldi Co, and House Majority Leader Manuel Jose Dalipe. The complaint stems from allegations of 241 billion pesos worth of unlawful insertions in the ratified BICAM report of the 2025 national budget. Citizens Crime Watch claimed that House leaders' illegal insertion on the BICAM report violates Article 170 of the revised Penal Code. Is the complaint versus Speaker Romualdez and other House leaders a payback for impeaching Vice President Sara Duterte? Joining us this morning at the BNC studio are two members of the Citizens Crime Watch. He is Davao del Norte's 1st District Representative and also former Speaker of the House, Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez. Good morning, Speaker Bebot.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning po.
And we also have senatorial aspirant and former PAGCOR Director, Attorney Jimmy Bondok. Good morning, Attorney Jimmy.
Good morning, Attorney Karen.
First, let's start with Citizens Crime Watch. Kailan po nabuo ang Citizens Crime Watch?
If I may just add slight correction, the Citizens Crime Watch is actually sila Attorney Ferdy Topacio.
So hindi kayo members?
Yes, they are co-complainants in the case. But the Citizens Crime Watch, I happen to know, was started in the 90s.
So 1992, I think.
Yeah.
1992.
But
so,
we are
co-complainants nyo lang sila, but you're not members?
No,
Yes.
no.
Okay.
Yes.
And so let's go to the complaint that was filed. The basis is Article 170 of the revised Penal Code.
Yes, that's correct.
But can we break this down to make it simpler for the Filipinos? The basis is Article 170, which
Ito po dapat yung mga mga totoong niluluklok natin sa Kongreso, sa Senado. Lalo na to si Attorney Jimeno, napaka dedikasyon na dating Marcos administration dito, pero tumiwalag siya dahil nga sa mga hindi magandang pamamalakad ng Marcos administration. Tuloy po natin. Ito po dapat, anin ko po, ito po si Attorney Bondok. Tumatakbo po siyang senatorial ngayong midterm election. Suportahan po natin yung kandidatura niya. Tsaka po yung lineup ng PDP laban. Ayan po.
which relates to falsification
Of legislative
documents. So paano pong nagkaroon ng falsification of legislative documents when it comes to the BICAM report?
BICAM report, ito inamin na ni Congresswoman Kimbo na talaga mayroong mga blanks doon sa report. Ngayon, nung pina-approve yun sa plenary, karoon pa rin may blanco, inaprubahan. Now, bakit pagdating doon sa printing, nagkaroon na ng amounts? Pagdating sa Malacanang, may amount na.
So, the Article 170, the basis for this complaint, says that those who without authority
Yes.
alters or mix insertions
Changes the meaning.
or changes a bill or resolution that is pending or approved by Congress is liable. But in this case, wouldn't it be an implied authorization kung inapprove yung blanco?
Pwede kasi yung technical working group. So, grammatical error, yung typographical error, pero not in, yung lagyan mo ng amount. Kasi that will alter the approval.
So, Attorney Jimmy, in this case, what should have been done?
Well, there are many things that could have been done. Number one is to just leave them blank. Because if it's left blank, that means that was what was agreed upon in the BICAM. Or number two, if you fill it in, ibalik po sa plenaryo. Because it is very simple. I hope everyone understands. It's very simple. The plenary, in both houses, have to see the bill before it goes and to approve it and to ratify it before it reaches the office.
Hindi na nga nila gagawin yun kasi nga, ang plano nila, talagang kurakutin yung pera. Yun yung isa sa pinaka-main objective nila. Kaya nga, BICAM, unang tinutulan nila, I think, Senator Bato de la Rosa, Senator Bongo, if I'm not mistaken. Tinutulan nila yan. Senator Amy Marcos, yung kapatid ni Bongbong Marcos na manggagamit. Alam ko, tinutulan nila. At yun nga, hindi nga sila pumirma. Ngayon, nung second BICAM, I think, parang doon na nila nakita, or second BICAM yan, na nilift na nila yung mga blanks. So, ayun yung parang ganun yung subaybay ko sa istorya na yan. Nasa hotel na sila, Manila Hotel na sila nag-cash sundo doon. Ayun ko, yun. Ito, alamin natin kung sino yung nagpuna nag-fill in the blanks doon. Okay.
Office of the President.
And Speaker Bebot, you were former Speaker of the House. Has it ever happened during your term na meron kayong BICAM report na may mga blanco?
No. Even before me, hindi po nangyayari yun.
And based on the rules, House rules of Congress, is it allowed to have blanks in the BICAM report?
Hindi po.
You were a member of 19th Congress, and assuming that you also attended the budget deliberations, wala po bang nakapansin na may blanco?
Dito sa kaso na to, medyo walang nakapansin. No? Basta tumuloy-tuloy yung approval ng bill.
Paano po nangyari yun na walang nakakita? Or kayo po, were you part of the budget deliberations?
Hindi po.
Hindi kayo bahagi nun. Pero, di ba pinapa-approve yan sa plenary? So, hindi ba pinapakita sa members of Congress kung ano yung ina-approve nila?
Ang nangyari dyan, bago sinalang doon sa plenary, nag-email yung leadership in every congressman ng kopya ng BICAM report. May nakalagay talaga doon blanco. Nung una, hindi ko pa napansin. Hanggat nung napanood ko si former President Duterte and Congressman Sid Ungab, na diniscuss nila yung merong blanco. So, ang ginawa ko naman, I called my office, pina-check ko, totoo naman talaga, meron.
But nonetheless, naka-approve po ito, nakakuha ng approval sa Congress. So, does that correct that issue? Or what is the effect of having this being approved by plenary?
In-approve kasi yung BICAM report as yung may mga blanks. Mga 12 yata na blanco yon. So dapat, pagdating sa enrolled bill, ganun din.
Blanco dapat.
Blanco rin.
Oo. At sino dapat ang mag-fill ng mga blanco?
Dapat ibalik nila sa plenary para aprubahan ulit.
Kung pagkatapos i-fill up.
Oho. Dahil hindi naman authorized anybody except Congress para maglagay ng amendment doon sa bill.
Kung dati po never nagkaroon ng blanco sa BICAM report
Oo.
at hindi rin to allowed ng House rules, bakit po in this case, this time, nagkaroon ng mga blanco?
Ito yun, Karen, no? Sobrang garapal na talaga yung sistema ngayon. Kahit alam nilang crime ito,
Okay, tara ba?
tuloy pa rin sila.
What was the intention? Para iwanang
Ito, mga kababayan, panoorin po. Pakinggan po natin to.
Budget ng Pilipinas ay hawak lang ng dalawang tao. Hawak lang siya ni Congressman Zaldico at ni Congressman Martin Romualdez. Yan ang katotohanan.
Tama siya. Ulitin po natin. Ulitin natin.
Hindi ako bratinela o spoiled brat.
Okay.
Ang budget ng Pilipinas ay hawak lang ng dalawang tao. Ang budget ng Pilipinas ay hawak lang ng dalawang tao. Hawak lang siya ni Congressman Zaldico at ni Congressman Martin Romualdez.
Ayan po mga kababayan.
Yan ang katotohanan.
Tuloy.
blanco.
Dahil ayaw nga pumayag nung una, ayaw pumayag ng Senado eh. Doon sa mga gusto nilang mangyari, ganito kalaki yung akap. Tapos, siyempre sa Constitution nakalagay doon, kailangan yung budget ng education, talagang yan mas mataas sa lahat. Dito, mas mataas yung budget ng DPWH. So doon pa lang, may problema na kaagad. Kaya siyempre, para hindi na magtagal doon sa Senado, tinira nila dito sa House of Representatives.
And doon na lang nila linagay yung mga amounts.
Doon nila nilagay. Oh.
Representative Stella Kimbo recently said that filling in the blanks was ministerial because there was supposed to be technical staff that would fill it in based on computations. Meron po bang agreed upon computations at the level of the 19th Congress?
Well, ganito yan, Karen. Tama naman siya, ministerial, no? Pero ito yung referring typographical error, yung error in spelling, hindi yung from zero, lagyan mo ng number, let's say 1, di ba? Or 3, or 5. Hindi pwede yun. Dapat kung 0 dito, 0 din dito sa kabila. Hindi pwedeng lagyan mo na ng amount yan. Dito, matindi. 0 yung total. Pagdating dito sa kabila, ginawa nila 241 billion, more or less, ang pinasok nilang projects.
Attorney Karen, if I may clarify,
Yes.
no? A best example of a correction would have been if there was an amount there that, let's say, it says 100 pesos, and then they left out a 0, the staff could put in the 0 to make it 1,000. I would still question that, but at least it's an actual correction. Pero for a blank to have an amount, that falls way outside the definition of a correction.
So from a legal standpoint, when you filed this case, what evidence are you relying on to prove that there is indeed a criminal act?
Attorney Karen, no, this is very interesting even for your students, for law students ng statutory construction. This is the best example of res ipsa loquitur, no? The thing
speaks for itself.
The best example, I think, it will be landmark because it will show clearly that the custody of the document was with the people mentioned, the persons mentioned. It was in their control.
The persons mentioned meaning the accused in this
Yes.
case.
Kasi po, this was printed in the House of Representatives, in their custody. After all of the processes, bago po umakyat sa presidente, dyan po pinrint yan. And they were the only persons with the authority and with the physical presence of themselves or their staff na maaaring nailagay yan. The thing speaks for.
Alam nyo, dito po talaga natin makikita no, na I'm sorry to say, no, yung ang tanga talaga ng mga natin, mga congressman natin. Tanga talaga, tatanga nila. Saan ka magkikita ng ginawa mong exam yung yung budget 2025 national budget, fill in the blanks. Sana wag na tayong bumoto ng mga mga pinabili lang ng suka. Mga kongresista pinabili lang ng suka, Ni walang lawyer, walang may mga boboto natin. Attorney Pantaleon Alvarez, Attorney Jimeno, Attorney Bondoc, mga ganyan lang. Pero yung dating bold star, wala na. Wala na Pilipinas talaga. Tuloy natin.
For itself.
And what is the reason why the case was filed against the leadership in Congress? Meaning, specifically, House Speaker Martin Romualdez, Congressman Zaldico, and Majority Leader Manix Dalipe. Bakit hindi kasama yung iba?
Kay Romualdez, dito kasi, sa Congress, Karen, wala pong nangyayari dyan without the consent of the Speaker. Lahat yan may basbas ng Speaker. Ngayon, why si Zaldico? Si Zaldico ang last touch dito bago to naging enrolled bill.
And you know that for a fact po.
Ako, sinabi na po ni Congressman, dating House Speaker Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez na si Zaldico ang last touch sa 2025 national budget. Naku po, malaking revelasyon to mga kababayan. Tuloy natin.
Sa member of the 19th Congress.
Opo. Kasi dadaan talaga sa Committee on Appropriations yan bago mo iprinta yan. So,
kaya siguro tinanggal nila. Kasi mga kababayan, nung nagka-bookingan to, ilalabas to tinanggal nila. Si Zaldico, tinanggal nila sa budget appropriation ba yun? Sa Committee of Budget Appropriation. Parang ganun. Kaya pala. Okay, diretso natin.
Zaldico, last touch dito. So, hindi po pwedeng wala siyang kinalaman dito.
And Majority Leader Manix Dalipe.
Manix Dalipe, siyempre, siya yung
Manix Dalipe.
nagkukumand doon sa floor.
Nako.
Are you wondering how much income you need in order to sponsor your spouse or common law partner for immigrants?
And yung Senate po, before it becomes General Appropriations Act, they also have their own Committee on Appropriations that meets with the Committee on Appropriations of Congress.
Yung finance yata yan sa
Yes.
kanila.
So, wala po bang kasama dito from Senate?
Wala po.
And what is the reason for that?
Kasi yung BICAM report na lang yung dumating sa amin.
Tago ka na.
Ngayon, yun na yung i-discuss dito sa plenary.
And
paano ba yan? Binuking ka dito ni House Speaker, dating House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. Zaldico, ano na? Tapos kayo ngayon.
yung umabot po ba sa Senate, by then meron ng mga amounts? Or would you know, Attorney Jimmy?
No, Attorney Karen, to be very clear, kasi this is technical, it's very confusing. Yung journals ng Senate show na pinag-usapan nila yan at pumasa yan ng blanco. Clear po yun. Yung journals ng Congress, wala po. It's not published in the site, which they're duty-bound to do. Pero wala po doon. Be that as it may, wala namang krimen pa rin kung blanco yan Wala
So
pa rin krimen.
it's their discretion. They can approve blanks.
Yes, so wala pang problema from the Senate and even from the House nung blanco siya. Pero nung printing na, which was done at the House of Representatives, nung printing na,
Ng BICAM.
doon lang yung opportunity na magkaroon ng insertion. And therefore, that is the only time may crime.
Would you say that this was done with the consent of Senate if they approve the report with blanks?
Well, the reason why they're not joined here is because there's no evidence of that, no? Ang point lang po dito, yung sinasabi nga nating the thing speaks for itself, no? Is, nangyari yan sa House of Representatives, doon po officially yung printing bago ipadala yung GAB for the President's approval and signature.
And Executive Secretary
Bersamin.
and President Bongbong Marcos said that the General Appropriations Act had no blanks. Is that irrelevant?
That is correct because nung pinadala yung printed GAB sa presidente, kumpleto na yung amount.
Yung
Fill
General
up pa na.
Appropriations Bill na to.
Yes. Kumpleto na. Ginawa na ng House of Representatives. Ipinasok na nila yung gusto nila. Ngayon, if you remember, hindi kaagad pinirmahan ni Presidente yan nung scheduled date. Sabi niya kailangan nilang i-review.
Yes.
So nung nagtataka ako, bakit kung ni-review talaga yan, di dapat nalaman niya na may mga kulang-kulang dyan. Pagdating from the Senate, pagpunta sa House of Representatives from the Bicameral Committee.
So would you say na hindi na review properly? Ano po yung palagay niyo nangyari along the way?
Palagay ko rito, ewan ko kung talagang ni-review nila o hindi, no? Dahil kung ni-review nila, hindi naman po pwedeng hindi nila malalaman yun. Dahil vast yung powers ng presidente. Alam niya yun, unless na talaga naisahan siya rito.
So you should have seen the BICAM report with the filled up amounts.
Yes.
Attorney Jimmy, would there be any liability that ultimately would also be linked to Malacanang, to the President and the Office of the Executive Secretary?
Attorney Karen, that is a matter of evidence, I think. But that is also the reason why we are taking measures to make it clear that we are focusing on the falsification that happened at the House. So that the parameters are clear. Kasi po baka maging political pag inisip nila na dinadamay na namin lahat. Tsaka baka magmukhang shotgun no? Lahat na lang sinisisi namin. It is very clear here by the facts of the case na may falsification dun sa printing.
And you're really concentrating on just that criminal act
We have to.
Falsification.
We have to. That is our contribution to the discussion, to the public discussion. Because there are also constitutionality issues, kila Attorney Rodriguez. We leave that to them.
And Speaker Bebot, you mentioned that the insertions amount to around 241 billion pesos.
Total, yes.
Have you heard of where this was going to go? Kumpara saan itong mga amounts na ito?
Well, mostly, pag pinag-aralan mo yung breakdown, nasa Department of Agriculture. Tapos yung NIA, ang laki ng mga amounts doon.
So would you say that they are going to legitimate programs?
Nako. Ay, hanggang dito na lang muna to, mga kababayan. Hanggang dito na lang muna to.
Catching fraud can feel like whack-a-mole. You get rid of one, but another.
Tuloy ko po to sa susunod na aking reaction video.